Some of you may remember the most significant instances of whistleblowing that our country has faced. The Pentagon Papers in 1971, when Daniel Ellsberg released classified DoD documents from the Vietnam War. The Iraq War memo in 2003, where a British government translator leaked an email that provided detailed explanation of the illegal activities that the United States and the United Kingdom were planning to spy on UN. And finally, the Baghdad airstrike video and U.S. diplomatic cables that were released by Bradley Manning in 2010. For the remainder of the program, we will turn to Alicia Faye to interview people on their opinions on whistleblowing.
Hi everyone, this is Alicia Faye, and I'm here with Mike Brosoft from a undisclosed Fortune 500 company. So Mike, thank you for being here. Can you tell me, what has your experience been with whistleblowers?
Well, first I want to thank you very much for having me here. And generally, I would say that businesses are not very fond of whistleblowers. It's generally seen as a hurt for our company. It hurts our bottom line. It causes a lot of problems, especially with the SEC and other organizations within the government, and generally public opinion as well. You know, my company, it deals a lot with people, and our focus is people, so we try to keep public opinion to a very positive aspect. So whistleblowers tend to hurt that as the bottom line.
Okay, so clearly you and your company are not very fond of these people.
No, well, listen, it's not that we don't want whistleblowers. We just want whistleblowers to ask and tell us things in the appropriate setting. So recently there is a Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act of 2011, which allowed people to go to the SEC anonymously and receive compensation for talking about fraud within companies. Personally, we are not fond of this because it allows SEC regulators to go around and start to try to have to regulate our company. And it kind of causes a problem within our own company because we would rather have an employee go within the company and start talking about a problem that they see, rather than going outside and bringing in newspapers and regulators and the government involved. So it's not that we don't like whistleblowers, we just want them to use the appropriate channels, which is why recently, even after this law, we see more companies are having outlets for employees to talk about fraud safely and securely.
So what are some of the outlets that your company has established?
Our company has one of our new hotlines, very similar to Deloitte's hotlines, where you can anonymously leave phone tips and emails that can go to talking about some sort of fraud within companies. Money companies within the Fortune 500 family, we should say, are following this suit.
And so for even these really large companies, you do think that these hotlines are actually working?
I do believe hotlines are actually working. I believe there have been articles recently talking about how the people who are whistleblowers saying that they won't have liked these hotlines and they would have gone to them more, or more people would have said, you know, we see more whistleblowers because of these hotlines recently. We do think they're a positive aspect.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I'm here with an NSA spokesperson to discuss how the government deals with whistleblowing. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what is the government doing about whistleblowers?
Well, in recent years, the government has decided to focus on deterrence. Deterrence not in the use of harsh laws or penalties, but rather deterrence in the use of aiding private companies. No, you know, people in private companies who are looking to whistleblow.
Can you give us a specific example of when this has happened?
Yes, in recent years there was a lawsuit between Douglas Duran and TAP Pharmaceutical Products. What we did was we helped them for 8 years to uncover TAP's conspiring with doctors to overcharge a Medicare program by tens of millions of dollars.
Oh wow. So was it successful in the end?
It was successful. It ended up being overturned later on, but we were happy with the result because it took eyes off the government instead on TAP and other private companies.
So how is the government discouraging whistleblowing internally?
Actually, we just made a new program. It was passed down through executive order by the president. It's called the Insider Threat Program. Now, what that does is it sets up the proper internal channels for employees in government agencies to report fraud, misconduct, or abuse.
Are there any repercussions for people who don't follow these channels?
Actually, yes. Employees are supposed to report their coworkers for bad behavior. These can be indicators such as stress, financial problems, divorce, and there are penalties for employees who do not, who fail to report bad behavior.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate all of your insight into how the government is dealing with whistleblowers.
Well, thanks for having me.
I'm here with James Rainin, a former whistleblower who's agreed to talk to us about his experience. Welcome, James.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us, we're all really curious, why on earth did you become a whistleblower?
Well, my intention wasn't to be a whistleblower, actually. I just wanted to work for my company. I wanted to be a good employee. I wanted to, bring my skill set to the company. But after working there for a while, I realized that there were some things that weren't right. Moral reasons, ethical reasons. What the company was doing wasn't the right thing. So I felt like I had to step in and take that moral step. And it's been a struggle. There really wasn't any monetary reasons to do it. There wasn't anyone on the outside telling me to spill some secrets for another company, another government. This was purely moral reasons that I decided to be a whistleblower.
Really? Because, I know a lot of whistleblowers today seem to have a monetary gain, they're getting something out of it. You're saying there was really nothing in it for
Right,
you?
and there's a lot of critics that say, hey, he's just doing this for the money, but if I was doing it for the money, I would ask them, where is that money? Right now, I'm currently in Russia. You can see by my sweater right now, it's really cold in Russia, and it's not a fun place to be. I'd rather be home, the country that I love. I did this for America, basically. I was doing this for the American people. The NSA decided to go into the private lives of too many citizens, and I didn't like that. And so the people needed to know what was going on.
So you would argue that it's your patriotic duty to be a whistleblower?
Patriotic duty, also duty to humankind in general. Like, I needed to be there for humans' rights and humans' privacy. I was doing it for them, for my fellow man, not for really myself or America, or any monetary gain or anything like that in general. So.
Well, thank you. This has been very informative, and from a whistleblower's perspective especially, we usually don't get to talk to them since many of them have been exiled. By the way, I am really liking the sweater.
Thank you.
I thank you for meeting me in this undisclosed location.
No, you got it. No, actually, a Russian lady gave me this sweater.